What's up, guys? Keep trades today, July 31st. Another banger day. Plenty of wins to go over. But first, we go testimonial. So we had two members take the Caesar call out long. I ended up posting a 916 profit in the chat. Caesar took short dubs, long dubs, and then some more trades he sent to the chat as well. Coming into my pre-market plan, very simple. I said we ripped all-time high overnight. If we can resweep or shift aggressively lower, I wanted to see 3.710 fill a new day opening gap. On longs, I wanted to see us fill first and then see if we find buying, which never came. Off the open, I was very clear. I said I'd really like to see a sweep lower, deeper trace before looking long. I said 23,685 new day opening gap should be hunted off open if we sell through the 1 hour. So that is exactly what happened there. So coming into the structure for the day on the long side, again, just looking at that all-time high. And what I talked about, if we sell through the 1 hour, I am talking about this 1 hour fair value gap here. My 23,710 level is simple, just this 1 hour low. And then obviously that 685 level is going to be on the 1 minute. And it's going to be this new day opening gap here. Boom. Right, structure lower, we had stacked daily sell side levels here, sell side level here, and sell side levels here. Coming in on the 4 hour, right, we didn't really have a 4 hour gap, but we had a huge imbalance. On the 15-minute, my area for longs was looking at this 15-minute fair value gap. So number one, for me, this was a personal setup that I ended up making around 50 points off of, and it is just me being confident. Off the open, we opened here. We drew into this fair value gap and we rejected. Right when we rejected, I got short and I played it down of the break of this low and I made about 50 points. Somewhere around here, yeah, 50 points. I'm down to my due day opening gap. I made about 50 points in less than a minute or so. And I cashed myself out about $480 profit on that trade there. It is somewhere in the chat. Right here. That is what I started off my day with, a 486 profit. Boom. So we sold off. And then I called the early entry reversal, which is very simple. Right? We swept out the sell side. We filled the new day opening gap. We understand that we just hit this 15-minute gap here. And we ended up finding some nice buying. Right? I called for the early entry after the re-sweep. And then the inverse. Alright, stop loss being placed here. And then this trade played about 30 to 50 points, which your first TP would be the 5-minute fair value gap, draw back into. And then your final TP would be 23,700, just psychological level, and also the 1-minute fair value gap off the open we formed. So that was your two TPs. Continuation did not play up to the 15-minute. So one setup we did miss, which I'm okay with missing, was the short. The short back down I'm okay with missing off the fact that we had a 15-minute fair value gap above. Say we failed to test it. It was a little iffy for me to be able to call that short. But in hindsight, and also I believe we should have been still taking it, right? We inversed. We know we're rejecting the 5-minute. We failed to hit the 15. But after we inversed the 5-minute bullish with a close here and formed the 5-minute bearish, this should be a short entry at the 5-minute bearish with our stop loss here. And the risk to reward here was really great at about a 21-point risk to make 45 points. And then runners also continued. So there was that setup as well. And then we ended up selling off aggressively. And here's where Caesar's trade came in. He called it out and we had two members take it. It is very simple. In the live chat, he said if we go lower, I have 23,505 as a level for longs. Right? This was his trade. 23,505. We dipped into it. Some members, one member took it off of the CISD entry, a little bit more confirmation. Another member took it off the 1-minute fair value gap. But if you took the early entry that Caesar had placed, it absolutely ripped 80 points. So that was his call out of there. And there's a few other setups that were taken as well. But for me, I took a nice little personal scalp at this rejection of this 1-minute gap down here. And that put me about 560. And then came Caesar's 505 long to a price. And then coming into the PM session, here was our last trade. Me and Caesar both took this trade because I was at a 500 something dollar profit, but I ended up, yes, 565, but I ended up making out with 916. This is our last trade. Caesar ended up grabbing a 597 entry. I played it a little bit differently. So very, very simple, right? We can see that we drew back and we inversed this 50-minute, right? If we were to head long, what should we have saw? Respect of this 15-minute or respect of this 15-minute? On the 5-minute time frame, similar stuff. We've been selling off. So I played a little bit of an ambitious entry at this 5-minute inverse close and the 15-minute candle close here. Caesar was already in at 97s way back up here. Or he was already in way back up here, which is a very, totally fine entry in my opinion. Buyers came in, we started to stall out, we broke down. This is a great risk to reward setup. I ended up playing it off of the 5-minute inverse and off of the 15-minute close. I grabbed my entry when we dipped back into this gap, and I played a bigger stop loss. The only reason why I played a bigger stop loss here is because we had a bounce above it. Wasn't sure if we wanted to come back and test this 5-minute, so I just placed my stop above there at 570. That was my entry, that was my stop loss, and my TP was here. Caught me about 50 points. 50 points. And then in hindsight, looking back, yeah, I could have caught a lot more. But again, I played only 3 micros. I played small size. I made myself an extra 350 bucks. 916 profit on a day, live account. I'm not going to complain. Right, and then there was obviously just been aggressive selling. So there was another setup that could have been taken. And it's a standard continuation look here. Had our 5-minute fair value up here. Right, we dug into it, we faked it out, we failed to find buying. Your entry is here. Respected 1-minute fair value gap. It gets inversed with the close. You take the retrace entry short, you put your stop loss here or likely here. TP1 would be internal low. And then I actually have it in the chat. I have proof of all of this. I said if we get aggressive, we will sell it. I don't have proof of me saying what I said, but there's literally a sticker right here. 7:51 a.m. and this is 10:11 p.m. I sent this in the chat. That is your 56 level, that is your 330, that is your 298. These levels here, the daily levels. I said if we get aggressive, we sell through, we're going to hunt them. And that was the trade model to take there, and that thing also banged as well. Freaking ridiculous. And then also, reversal end of day. So plenty of setups to take today. My trades being my entry off the open, being confident and calling it out in the chat that we should short the open. And then my call out being this long. The continuation would have lost you. Missed out on this setup here, totally fine. Caesar called the long reversals. And me and Caesar took shorts. I took here, he took here, end of day. Boom, banged out. I went 3 for 3 today, plus 916. And that's a done day. And we go to Friday. We're going to be light. We're going to be small size. We have absolutely crushed it this week. And overall, it's been great. But that's going to be it for July 31st trade recap. Thank you guys for watching. Leave a like, leave a comment, and subscribe. And if you want to join the Discord, we have a link in the bio. We'd be happy to have any and all new members. But until next time, guys, peace out.